Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to today's episode on True Talk with DJ Nero. And today I have with me beautiful guests. And should I let you introduce yourself, or do you want me to do
Fire
the
away.
introduction? I'll just run through it. You want me to do it? Right. On my left, I have Chenynne. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself, or are you happy with that? You're happy with that? All right, cool. And on my right, I have a beautiful man. He goes by the name Ian Johnston. And far right, I have an amazing, beautiful young lady that goes by the name Amelia. Right, guys. And today, I've got a beautiful topic to share with you. And just before I crack on, I would like to appreciate the guys that have already subscribed. And again, before we crack on, there is this particular thing which I always say or talk about on our show, which is to say whatever we say or we discuss on this talk show is just based on our views without any prejudice. So no string attached. It's just how we feel about it. And today's topic it's a beautiful one. And guys, we will be talking about cheaters today. Would you would you be able to? Would you proceed with a relationship or a marriage with a cheating partner? And when I say cheating partner, we all know what cheaters, you know what it's like. So, if I start with Amelia, would you continue a relationship with a partner that cheats? And be fair, be sincere.
Very nice question. I would say depends.
Okay.
Yeah. In a case where we've been together for quite a while, and probably my partner has never actually given me any reason to doubt his love for me,
Okay.
and then something happens for the first time, I might overlook it. Depends on what we share, what we have, the kind of
Okay.
relationship between us. I might give him another chance.
And like if you find out that your partner is cheating, you would give him a second chance.
That's what I'm saying, depending on what kind of relationship I have with this person.
So tell
Right.
us. So
If I have an amazing relationship where we understand each other,
yes.
we've been together for so long, he's never given me any reason to doubt him, he's never really gone out there to cheat on me, and then he does it for the first time, I would want to know what led him into doing that. Depending on the reasons he gives to me, then I will have to reconsider if I'm going to give him a second chance or not.
Okay.
Because sometimes people fall into temptation not because they intend to, or because they found themselves in an awkward situation and they fell. So you need to understand why they're in that situation, and then listen to all the excuses they have to give. But then again, it's never easy actually taking a partner back after they cheat. But I'm team, give it a second chance.
Okay. Good. Fantastic. Thank you. Ian, can we hear your side?
Yeah, I'm team no. No, I think I would walk away.
Okay.
But I think the reason why is the damage that act has done to your relationship. It's not just the initial "this has happened, I'm sorry," then you have to get over that. I mean that I could see that how that could be done. I could see how you could sort of move past something initially. My problem is more the lasting damage that will create in terms of trust. You know, that will always be in the back of your mind to say, they've done this to me once before, could they do it again? You know,
Right.
and I think fundamentally, I think how you see that person would slightly change. Even if it's a little bit, even if it's a tiny little seed of doubt, I think that will just grow and grow and grow and become a bit of a problem.
Well, what about if someone, sorry, I'm not supposed to trade
Yeah,
questions,
no,
but I'm
you're
just
right.
trying to say this. What about, like I said, awkward situation, like if, for example, a girl hangs out with her friends, she doesn't know her drink was spiked. All right,
Yeah.
then you find her making out with some other guy, but it's not something she's done, and she's not aware because she's under the influence of drugs or alcohol or whatever.
Yeah,
Do you really think it's something that you shouldn't have a talk with her, understand, how she feels? She shouldn't be given another chance.
I think you're right. If they're drugged, I think that's a completely different situation. So I think, yeah, you
That's
have
what
to
I'm
take that
saying.
into consideration.
So many things
I
lead
think
temptation.
drink, for me, drink is different. I mean, we've all been drunk. I think that, you know, we can make poor decisions when we're drunk, but I think there's a certain level that you would have to go to make that choice.
I'm not in support of people cheating.
Yes.
I'm trying to make that clear. But what I'm trying to say here, in a situation where there is true love that has been, you know, unshaken for years,
Yes.
and such a situation happens,
Yes.
it is worth giving it another go.
Okay. Can we hear from Chenynne?
I think it really depends on the situation, the same as Amelia, to be fair. But
Okay.
I think, but then a part of me would be like, just me as a person, I wouldn't be bothered with the stress. I would probably just walk away.
If you find your partner cheating, you will just walk away.
I would probably like try my best to sort it, but then be like, this is too much for me, and then actually just
So
Yeah,
when
when
do
you
you
can't
know?
trust
When do you
anymore.
know it's too
Yeah.
much for you?
When the trust is totally broken, you've tried.
Yeah.
I know what he was saying is right. It's difficult to come around trusting that person again, but for me, I would try because of what we had. I would try again.
Do we even check why people cheat?
Some people, that's what I'm saying. Find out why. That's what I'm saying. It's good to find out, give them a chance to explain why they did what they did. Because they might tell you because maybe you're no longer sexually active, your relationship is lacking sex, and that was what pushed them into meeting with someone else. It could be because at that point they were very vulnerable, you know, they were
Yes.
just at their weakest, and someone took advantage of them.
But going back to what he said, what he said is a no-no for him because again, some people cheat without even realizing the damage that would cause. Some cheat for fun. Some cheat to pay back for something. You know, some don't even know why they're doing it. So in a situation where you're in a relationship with someone and your partner is cheating, maybe because you've done something to him 10 years ago and he doesn't know how to get back at you, and he feels, I'll just cheat. And then that way I think that will be a payback. So it's not really a case he or she wants to do it. It's just because the way she processes things, she feels that's the way she can get back at you. We go into relationship for different reasons. Some go into a relationship with someone majorly because of sex. So if that means if there is any issue with that sex, that relationship's gone.
Absolutely.
So Chenynne was saying she would rather did you say you would take him back? Or
Yeah, I probably would, but then
At the point where she
Yeah.
can't.
so
handle
why
it
would you
anymore, she might
take
walk away.
that person back?
just because if we've been in a relationship like for a long time, we've got a connection, we've got everything that we could possibly have.
I mean, like cheating on purpose to end the relationship?
No, do you know what I mean? Do you know like if you're in a relationship and something can like it's just needs one thing to
Yeah.
like end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That-
it's not working. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a happy relationship.
That's a dysfunctional relationship. Relationship
Yeah,
that you know it's not
it's not
functioning
working.
well.
Yeah, so it just
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
just one straw.
But in a situation where you have a fantastic relationship and then one of you is now cheats,
That's
I would say clearly, I mean, I don't support cheaters. Yes, I don't support anyone that toil with that trust that you both have. But when it comes to you both having kids together, it's a different ballgame. Because if you're considering walking away, but you now need to think about the disadvantage of that or the implication of that on the kids.
But then again, my mum and dad divorced, and I'm very much of the opinion that they were better off once they did. So, bottom line is, if my wife cheated on me, and after looking at the situation, there was not a very good reason for it. It was just an impulse that they wanted to do that at the time. I mean, I would probably consider breaking it off. I mean, I would do it in an amicable way. I would still want to have good contact with them for the sake of, the kids. But, it would take an awful lot for me to stay in that situation. More so because, I don't think I could trust them again the same way.
True.
It damages something for me. And it's like, it's like a broken mirror, break a mirror, you can put the piece together, but it's not quite the same.
Yes.
But for me, I think one of the other big things is that it sets a very bad precedent for that relationship.
Not in all cases.
Almost.
Mhm.
But,
Sorry.
but in some, if you were to say, yes, no problem, it's fine, let's take it back, let's go, what's stopping them from saying, oh, I got away with it once.
Yeah,
I could do that again. It also depends on the, how well do you know your wife? How well do you know your partner? You know, I know Zoe.
Yes.
When I met her, she's a very flirty person. I know that, and she, she'll be the first to admit this. Like she, when she's talking to you, what's the first thing she calls you?
Hello,
Hello, beautiful.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that's just her personality, and she's a flirty person, and I'm totally comfortable with that because I trust her. I know what.
I think trust is the main.
I know her mindset. I know how she feels about relationships, and she has never given me a reason to mistrust her.
Mm.
So for that reason, if she was to flirt, send a few text messages to someone, I wouldn't freak out about that. It'd be absolutely fine. But I suppose it depends, doesn't it? If it was someone absolutely completely random, out of the blue,
Yeah, that's
the
when
tone
you
of the
get worried. But if
messages,
someone you know and the whole family
Yeah.
knows, there's nothing to
Yeah.
worry about.
the tone of the messages start to change or something like that, or flowers start turning up at the door, then maybe you'll start to worry. And be like, hey, hold on.
I think something is
Then
you're right.
can I say something?
By all
Because
means.
you said something about when something is broken, it's broken. It cannot be put back together again. And that reminded me of something I read somewhere. A ceramic dish, sometimes may just lay there in a shelf and never be put to use. But do you realize that sometimes when it breaks and you're able to put it back together, you begin to find more use for it? That can happen in relationships.
So not until
Put it back better, you mean?
Yes.
until we cheat on each other. That's
No,
when we.
excuse me. I'm just saying in some situation there.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is that
Okay.
I just gave an example of you will say when a broken plate is broken, it's broken. And I just wanted to tell you that it's not always the case. Yes, in some relationship, depending on the reason why this person cheated.
Right.
All right. Sometimes we cannot neglect the fact that we sometimes play a major role on why our partners cheat on us.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? And sometimes it could just be that wake-up call that a man or a woman could need in a relationship to go back to the drawing board and say, I might be the reason why this person did this, not because they wanted to, but I pushed them to do this. So in such situation, that is when this ceramic plate, becomes useful. It's not about throwing away and dumping it and saying, oh, it's all over. All right?
Yes.
It's about saying, I might have made a mistake and I'm going to fix it. All right?
Mm-hmm.
You and I can still work something out. We can go for counseling. You and I can talk more.
relearn,
Exactly. We can still
get to know each other.
start all over again. Go on dates like we used to. Have movie. Do things that we used to do together. Maybe we stopped doing all this, and that's what made you, made us grow apart. All right.
Mm.
So maybe it took that crack in our relationship for us to realize that we have something special. We can actually save it. Let's give it all and save it. When we go full force and say we love each other so much and we're not going to let it go, we're not going to let it slip without giving it a fight. Jay-Z and Beyonce proved that to the world.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So
I
we always best at straying people away because they cheat? What's the probability that you're discarding a good woman or a good man for just one mistake, and then your next partner could come along and even do worse?
See, I agree with some points that you're making. I do. I mean, for me, one of the big things here is you're right. So, I'm not saying it's broken, but it'll never be the same again. Is all I'm saying. That could be better. You're right.
Oh, it could be
better. It could be that you've never really talked about a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I think probably the reason why I'm so hardline about this is that in my relationship, I know when I first got together with Zoe, we actually talked about this. Like some couples do talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done this before? Would you ever do this? And we're both of the opinion at this point in our lives where we almost had a mutual agreement. If you ever feel that way, if you ever feel like you're inclined to go and do this, come and talk to us. Tell us you're feeling the way that you're feeling. I would rather you break up with me and then go.
Do it.
Yeah.
Than do it while I'm
Than
still
do
there.
it while still, because that's the deceptive part. That's the bad part for me. So I agree with you. It could be my fault that she decides that she wants somebody else, but it's still her choice to go through with it before telling me about it. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
That's the problem I would have with it.
And sometimes
So-
people are not just left. That brings me to explain just something when it comes to relationship, I'm always trying to find out stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Women and men always have different reasons for cheating. I'm not trying to be. Do you know, naturally, like I always say, women are more of commitment beings. It doesn't mean that every woman out there is a commitment being. The world is changing drastically based on the world we used to have and the way things were before the changes, right?
Yes.
Women are naturally commitment beings. Women want to grow up. And it's already told us, we've been told since we're kids that, oh, you finish school, you get married, you have a home, right? So that's how we are programmed. So actually, when a woman is in a relationship, it is never something she just wants to wake up and go and cheat.
For a lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
A woman doesn't just want to go out there and cheat, except she's falling out of love.
Yeah.
And then how do most women fall into temptation of cheating? It starts with that guy in the office that sees you bawling your eyes out. You understand?
Right.
And then he comes around and be like, "Are you okay?" Nicely, because men always take advantage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they know something is wrong. I've always liked her, but I know she's married, so I can't go close, right? Or I know she's in a relationship, so I can't go close, right? But now that she's crying, it must be that guy. Maybe this is my shot, you know? So what does he do as a hunter? He gets closer. He gives her a shoulder to cry on, and she cries.
On a night out, for example, after having some drinks, and they would say, "I just kissed him," or "She just kissed me," and that's not cheating.
That's cheating.
I've had a girlfriend who's done that exact thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's insane.
Do you know what I mean? I've literally seen the picture of it happening,
Shite.
and I was like,
This is wrong.
"What is this?" Do you know? And to be honest, like, yeah, they were much of the opinion that it wasn't really cheating. And it was like,
That's what I'm saying.
to be fair, we were quite young, whatever, but
But still, you felt.
Still, you feel the same way,
feel
don't
the same-
you?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
and it's probably experiences like that give me the attitude that I have about it, you know, because as you know, I'm not much of an argumentative person. I'll give people second chances and be nice about stuff,
Yes.
but I was proved wrong in that occasion
And then you have
to
to
give a
like.
second chance, so that's probably why I'm so hard-lined about it now. I just think it shows a lack of respect.
So if I would ask you, and I'm going to ask you that question. No, I'll ask you first, actually. What gender cheats most?
Ay, ay, ay.
Can you tell me why?
Oh, that's hard. I would say guys, but then part of me thinks girls as well.
So
I would say
you're
guys
saying this to our
because
audience. So you're saying
Alright,
guys,
I
and
would
then you're
say-
saying boy, you're saying girls as well.
right. I'll say guys for like maybe attention wise and household stuff to check out in relationships, stuff like that.
I believe it's honestly based on the people that I know and the experiences that I've had in the past.
Yes.
I would say it's very equal, but fellas don't hide it. You know, men admit to what they're doing and they're like, yeah, you know, and they make a laugh out of it. Say it's not a big deal. It was only a kiss.
we even get caught so easily.
Whereas and women who, in my experience, who have done this, are a little bit more secretive about it, and they make sure that stuff never comes out. You know.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
for me, but that's only my experience. I'm not saying as a rule. If I really put some thought into it, I'd probably say more men cheat than women, but that's just not been my experience.
Love that. I like that because that's why this starts.
What did you say? You said
Well,
men cheat more than women.
I
or both?
believe they would.
Okay.
But it's just in my experiences, it hasn't been that way. But that's only been my experience, so I can't really say for everybody.
Okay. From my experiences. From my experiences.
Your own personal experience. Okay.
Yeah.
No, not personal. It's not personal.
Okay.
It's what I have seen growing up and what I'm still seeing till date.
Okay.
Men cheat more than women. There is no two ways about it. You guys are not being realistic. Why I'm saying this is the temptation is higher for a man.
Why?
Oh, social media. Yeah.
There are so many beautiful plastic surgery fixed dolls everywhere. And the nature, excuse me, can I narrow? And the nature of men. The nature of men.
I'm sorry.
Men are wired to be promiscuous in nature. Most men. That's how we know that. Men are naturally if the in
You
the,
see me,
in
you
the
see
African in the,
my
Af-
eyes shaking.
in the African description of a man
Yes.
and the way a man is created by God.
Yeah.
All right, a man is classed as a hunter. That is his nature.
Hunter.
That is why way back in the olden days, as in so many cultures, men have the right to marry as many as they could take care of. We know that it is natural as a life giver, all right,
Yes.
a sperm donor, to go out there and hunt. It is just a natural instinct. It is just how men are naturally wired. Yes, we know that today a lot of men have learned to control their needs, all right, they've learned to control to be with one partner. Thank God for religion. Thank God for thanks to upbringing and what the society.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, to you and what the society expects of us. But the truth of the matter is that, based on what I have just explained, it is natural for a man to cheat more than a woman. I'm not saying women don't cheat. I'm not saying women don't go out there and cheat. In fact, women cheat, they do, but not as much as men would, because of the way we are all wired differently.
But women,
So whether we like it or not, we cannot say women cheat more than men. We can't.
women
No.
can have open relationships too, though,
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
and they can have multiple men if they
Of course,
want.
yeah, I know that. What I'm trying
But
to
it's
say is,
different for women though to do that.
Why?
Because men say as a different person, oh she's a whore, or she's flat.
thank
or
you, she's a
So-
bitch.
Yeah, the same way they say to guys too. That
No,
he's
don't get
a
high
dick,
five.
he's trash,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
bad.
They can high five.
You see when men
Who gave
get,
you high five?
you see when men get praised by their
Like
friends,
guys
by their
get
friends
that.
when they go to, oh man, I was with that girl yesterday. You know her friend? I was with her.
That is
Oh yeah,
in-
yeah. Do you know that majority of the women out there that cheat don't tell their friends?
Yeah, they don't discuss it.
They don't discuss it.
That's good. That's good to know. So
They don't say
let me
it.
learn more.
So that
They
builds
keep
in
quiet.
the
They don't say
confidence.
anything because you know why? They're
See,
so
more
scared.
secretive.
They're so scared that when they say to someone,
Tell someone.
well, then it's gonna go round. So no matter how much they trust the friend, there's certain things they would not go as far as telling that friend because they feel that
It makes it
once
real,
another
so-
ear, exactly, once another ear heard, the news is gonna spread. Because if anything goes wrong between them and their girlfriends, this girl may use information she has, the dirt she has on her, yeah.
So what you're saying is men should do it better.
Yeah.
That's what I don't know. I think that generally, if you really want to tell the true manner of a person, whether they're man or woman, watch them when they're single. So if you see a bunch of single men, a bunch of single women out in a bar, you're right. Men are more inclined to be on the prowl.
The temptation
They're
is
on the
higher
hunt.
on for men. Yeah,
They're walking around that
Temptation
bar
is
going,
higher.
hey, look.
it's higher.
That's
so,
how
so,
it-
so you're right. There's a natural instinct there
Exactly.
to go on the prowl for a
Exactly.
man.
Thank you.
But then at the same time, there's a natural instinct for women
Two,
to put themselves on show
if you pop
in
into
the same bar. So you see
Yes.
groups of girls hanging
Yes,
out, and they're
exactly.
they're flicking
Sometimes,
their hair.
check you out.
some girls
Check,
are just there to hang out with their friends innocently, and then
Agree,
the guy
but then there's
approaches
some
them.
guys-
They may not be there just looking for men.
I agree, but there's also some guys who are out in the bar just to have a laugh with their mates and have no interest in searching
Of course,
for
they
it.
don't have. At the end of the day, then some beautiful girl walks in and they're like, "Oh Lord, my God, I lost my attention." That's my attention now.
Some.
It happens.
Some.
women.
But I think the point is, you can't put a man and a woman in a box.
Mhm.
Every man's different, every woman's different. There are
Definitely.
certain
Absolutely
instincts,
individual.
but I think we have evolved a bit more over the years
Mhm.
that we can choose to act on that instinct or not. And
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm
Kudos to the
single,
men.
Yes.
I'm definitely a different person than when I'm with somebody.
Yes.
You know,
There is a lot attached to your relationships. There's a lot you have to put into consideration now that won't allow you to do some certain things.
Yeah.
Based on how you were before, you have nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about, and then you end up doing whatever you want. But now you're thinking, oh, I owe this person, some sort of respect.
Yeah.
My, your prestige, your
That's if you
who
love
you're-
that person.
If you
If
love
that
that
person
person,
means
yeah.
something to you.
You've got a lot to protect. So then you might see yourself not. But overall, I wouldn't say it's a guy that cheats more, it's a girl that cheats more. Do that.
But you realize that sometimes, have you ever seen a child like a toy so much they don't want to let go but still wants another toy?
I get that. I absolutely get that.
You're right. You're right.
So that's sometimes you put that into consideration. Some people would never come to you and say to you, "Sweetheart, I don't love you anymore. I want to go away, and I think I'm attracted to someone else."
But the way I
They
look
can't say it because they still want you, but there's still that part of them that still just wants to play.
But what that means to me, if that was the case, I would be saying, well, then that means that I am not good enough
You're not enough, yeah,
for
obviously.
you. Therefore, I'm going to walk away from this situation, and you can go off and find the person that is good enough.
That's in the case where she tells you, but if she doesn't tell you, how you're gonna know?
Well, I mean, that's what in the other situation that you catch them cheating, you have that conversations. Why did that happen? And if they give you some rubbish story about excuses to say, well, it just happened. It happened. Well, then I'm not enough in that situation, and you just I think you should respect yourself more.
I totally understand what you're saying, because when you get cheated on, you always feel anyone that gets cheated on always feels you're not enough for your partner.
It's as simple as that.
Good enough.
Yeah. You feel like there's something
Something wrong.
there's something wrong with you, or something you're not doing right. But most of the time, it might have nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
it might just be
something
the
we
person.
just wanted to do. Yeah.
At the end of the day, we've covered a lot today. We've been able to discuss this topic, and we've shared our opinions. Chenynne, you've said a lot about, even if you were saying you were the opinion, a guy would cheat, a lady would cheat, and you said that you will take your partner back based on your relationship with that person. Likewise, Amelia, you said that you would put a lot of things into consideration: how far you've gone with this person, how much you've known this person, or how long you've known this person. You put all of that into context before you make your decision, which is another way, a better and an amazing way of processing things. So thank you very much as well for your contribution. And Mr. Johnston said here, he's not going to, it's a no-no because of certain things. And he's also said, again, he would ask questions. In his own opinion, he would ask questions. If you feel you want to go into stuff like that, then you rather tell me, we'll break up, and then you go do what you want to do. That way you don't hurt me. I will still feel hurt, but, it feels slightly better that way. My own opinion is slightly the same as yours. I would ask questions. It's not something I think I will be able to sustain, but I would ask questions to know why, because you just don't want to end a relationship thinking you've done the best for yourself, not knowing you might jump on the next one, and the next one might just be worse than the one you've left. So overall, we all made valid points, which again I appreciate. Big shout out to you, Amelia, for coming in today. It's been really good having you aboard, and I know you've been so fantastic to this project. Thank you very much. Likewise yourself, Mr. Justin. You've been so supportive, helpful in all means, and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Your contribution as well is really appreciated. Thank you.
Thanks.
And my beautiful Chenynne, thank you as well. You've been so supportive as well. You've been there for this project. Thank you. I so much appreciate. And I go by the name again, DJ Nero, and massive shout out to Match and Hotel as well for giving us this beautiful space to shoot the True Talk. And I would say, for anyone out there, if you're in Belfast and you're looking for somewhere really great to have a good time, don't hesitate to pull up at the Merchant Hotel. The ambience here, the hospitality here is it's amazing. It's first class. Thank you once again. It's me, DJ Nero. Thanks for listening, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Ciao.